Jason Ferguson here, and today CSI Life just launched their new e-app, and along with that, Central States Indemnity, or CSI, upgraded theirs to match. So both companies use the same e-app. I'm going to walk you through this in another example of our Learning e-apps series. So let's just dive right in. As an agent, you are going to go to Agent Login. And the address here is service.iasadmin.com/CSI Life. So once you get to this screen, jump over here to Agent Login. If you have an account, you'll log in here, and if not, you'll have to register here. Now, once you've logged in, the next step to start an app, you just go up here to the top and choose Online App. For any of you who have already used CSI's electronic application, this is going to look pretty familiar. But new today is this button is now one button instead of two. Previously, Get a Quote was separate from the application. So, if you've already started apps, they're going to appear in this list. We're just going to start a new one. Let's start filling out the app. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get a quote, and there we go. So assuming your client likes what she sees, we'll pick one of these to apply for, and we're going to choose Plan F. Okay, now we're in the app. We need to start filling in some details. And continue to the next page. Okay, this second page is for the Medicare Info. We're going to say, yes, we're covered under Part A. We're going to say no on GI and continue. Next up, we just need to add our height and weight. And then we get to the health questions. We'll go ahead and answer all those no, but if you had a yes in 13 through 16, you'd need to put an explanation in this box. So continue on. Okay, medication. If your client has taken medications within the past year, click yes, and then a new button appears to add the prescription info. So we're going to say simvastatin. And 10 milligrams once a day. Cholesterol, I think that's right. Okay, and then you continue clicking this button to add other prescriptions as needed. Once you're done, just hit continue. And by the way, if you add something incorrectly, you can delete it here or edit it here. But we'll continue. Alright, this screen is about replacement coverage. And our client does have an existing med sup. And since we chose that she had an existing med sup, this screen appears asking about replacement coverage. So you can start typing in the name of it. Say replacing Plan F. We don't know the policy number, so we'll type unknown and continue. And the reason is no change in benefits, lower premiums. Alright, since we're replacing a policy, the checklist comes up. These are pre-filled, so just skim through those, make sure they're correct. If they're not, you can select that and change it. Alright, we're going to do a bank draft, paid monthly, on the issue date. And then you choose bank draft timing. You can choose any of these options, and if you want, for example, to draft on the 15th, choose the last option, and then choose which day you want the draft to happen. Choose 15 and continue. Alright, now we need some bank info. Alright, if you have any other policies in force, list them here. Any policies in the last 5 years which are not in force, list them here. And then continue. Okay, now you'll see we have 3 different ways that your client can sign. If they want to sign electronically or by using a voice signature, they must have an email address. If not, they have to use the print and mail option. We're going to go over the e-signature and the voice signature, but let me just say up front, the voice signature is quite a bit easier. But let's start with the e-signature. There's a lot going on here, but let's break it down. You as the agent have to check, I attest that I am the agent of record. Once you do that, these fields become available to you. If this is unchecked, you can't click on any of this. So we'll check that, and this is asking what your client's email address is, which it's pre-filled from earlier in the app, and the user ID. Okay, and then we want to do electronic policy delivery. If they want it by paper, check that, and then these 2 options become available, asking where it should be mailed. If you choose electronic, both the agent and the applicant get a copy. Okay, so the next step is to click Send User ID via email, and that's going to email a link to the website to your client where they will continue the app from here. So I'm clicking that, and then I get a confirmation that that was emailed. Now if you talk to your client and they didn't get it, have them look in their junk mail folder or their spam folder, and if it's not there, you can always click Resend. So as the agent, we can scroll down here and see that these are the documents that your client has to sign. These are the ones they have to review. And as they sign those, this is going to say signed, and it will change to green lettering. Now let's switch over and look at it from the client's point of view. Your client gets an email that looks like this, and it's going to have a link, and all they have to do is click the link and enter their user login. So from here, they'll enter their user ID and hit continue. They enter in their date of birth. It's going to ask them to create a password and continue. Now, once your client has logged in to see the online app, the first screen they're going to see is the consent to do business electronically. So they have 2 options here. They can agree to do this electronically, or they can say they don't agree. And if they decide they don't agree, they're going to be presented with a screen that requires them to print all the forms out and then sign and mail them. And if they go that route, you want to be sure they mail those to you so you can add your signatures. Now, assuming our client clicked on I agree, the next screen they'll see is the outline of coverage. And basically they just have to indicate that they have read this. So to do that, they'll click on the View button over at the left, and that's going to open a new window. All they have to do is read the document and close it. Once the outline of coverage has been viewed, you'll notice over at the right in green text it now says Reviewed. And in addition to that, all of the other documents that require signature will be displayed below. So now your client needs to do the same thing as the outline of coverage. They need to review each document, so that means click the View button, open it, read it, and close it, and do each document. And then once they've done that, instead of saying required, it's going to say reviewed, and then the continue button will become available. So the last step is to click continue. And now they're presented with a binding agreement disclosure, and the last thing they have to do here is simply sign the documents, and by clicking the button, that is the signature. So click to sign, and after signing, your client can view, print, or download all those documents by clicking on the blue link to open it. Now this screen shows us that a phone interview is required, and for underwritten cases that's going to be likely. So as your client scrolls down the page, she'll see a box to choose a date and time and optionally add a different phone number so the underwriting staff can call her. She can choose to have the interview completed the same day as she signs, as long as she makes her selection prior to 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So for example, if it were 3:20 p.m. right now, she would have the option for a 4 o'clock phone call. And once she's made her selection, she just has to click Finish at the bottom right. So next your client gets the phone call from Underwriting, and after that's complete, they're going to receive an email from CSI. And the email looks like this, and it basically tells your client that she has to click the link and log back into the website. After logging in, she's going to see a message telling her whether she was approved or not. In this case, she was approved, so we can see there's an Activate button, a list of all her policy documents which she can click and open or save to her computer. And it's important to note that the ID card and the policy will not be active in the system until she clicks the Activate button at the top. After that, the policy is active and she's done. So that was the complete electronic signature option. Now let's rewind a bit, go back and take the voice signature option. And we're going to do a voice signature. Okay, once again we have to attest that we're the agent of record. I've advised the applicant that voice signing the app will involve a phone call where the applicant will need to verify a confirmation number, and all application will be re-reviewed over the phone, and a phone interview may be required at the end of the call. Okay, we're going to check that. Let's say the policy gets mailed to the applicant, and now you need to schedule the call. You can choose a date by clicking this little icon. Let's say they want to be contacted February the 20th between 10 and 11 a.m. Okay, so we're going to say agree. Now from your perspective, the voice signature process is now complete. If you want to keep paper copies or PDFs of the documents, you can click on the View buttons and download those files to your computer. They will not be signed, however, but at least you'll have a copy. Okay, now let's flip back over to the client's side of things and see what they get. And your client gets an email that looks just like this. Their confirmation is in big red letters. The date and time of the call is just below it. So that's all they need. When they answer the phone, they're going to say this confirmation code. And not only are they verifying their voice signature on the line, they're also doing all the underwriting during the call. So underwriting will go over the health questions, clear up anything they need to know, and that's all your client has to do. Okay, now if we flip back to the signature options, the one we haven't gone over is the middle button for Agent Will Print and Mail. I'm not going to go over this in detail, but if you click the button, it's just going to present you with a list of documents that need signed. From there, you just print each one, have your client sign them, and then you either mail, fax, or upload those to CSI Life. I hope all that makes sense. If you have any questions, please give us a call. Thanks for watching.